guys, we got a Nomio shot. It's 5:30. First time ever trying it, so let's see what it tastes like. I've seen some bad reactions of people having this in terms of the taste, but it's not that bad. It kind of tasted how I thought it would. So I think people take this 3 hours before workouts, and you get like this less lactic sort of feeling. Also, Carapace are absolute legends. They actually gave me like 4 shirts to add to my rotation. And as always, you can use code SOTA20 to get a bit off your order, and they include shipping in the price now, which is awesome. And yeah, I'm really into this high quality material. You can always imagine that if I'm gonna collab with a brand and make a shirt, it's gonna be some proper good stuff. Hello everyone, we are here at Gallup today and we're going to do a Coros fitness test. So essentially every Coros watch actually has a fitness test built into it. So if we look here, there's running fitness and then you provide your estimated 10k time. I reckon I'd be sitting somewhere between 32 and 34 right now, probably closer to 32 to be honest. And then it actually gives you the workout. So if you go and test details, there's a 5-minute warm up into a 25-minute steady at 350 to 330 pace. I think again I'll be closer to 330 based off of like my recent race efforts and stuff. I should be able to do that pretty comfortably, I think, but it takes you straight to a 3-minute hard run after that and then another 3 minutes hard if it doesn't get your max heart rate by then. So it is actually relatively hard like once you get to the later stages. Obviously the threshold part will be pretty controlled, but before we get into this, obviously that's only a 5-minute warm up. I probably want to warm up a bit more because the temperature is quite cold today. It's 14 degrees right now with like 11 degrees dew point, which is actually really good weather. I had a Nomio shot 3 hours before this, so at about 5:30 a.m. So it should kick in roughly at the right time to help me out a little bit, I think. Finally, I do have the Coros pod right here at a weird location in the middle of my shorts here, and that usually gets the left-right balance and stuff. So I just want to make sure that I'm not compensating or anything from my recent injuries that I've had in like November, because I feel like the first couple runs after that, I was running a little bit weird. So I'm trying to make sure that's fine. So shout out to Coros for all this data. I've also got the heart rate monitor. Yeah, it should be super fun. We got Meg behind the camera, who will shout out later as well. We're gonna go to warm up first, and then we'll do an extra 5 minutes here because we have to do that to get to the test. So let's get right into it. All right, so we're gonna start the warm up now. Got my big show. I'll have this at some point, but yeah, let's get cracking. So I've been telling a lot of my athletes recently, but every time you do a race or workout, you should be trying to get data on how your body feels when you start the workout or race. Warming up properly and experimenting with different warm-up methods, different durations, different amounts of threshold and strides and drills and everything.
Sota, you're a legend, mate!
Thank you. You need to always be experimenting and see what makes your body feel the best at the start line. It's not going to be the same for everyone, but unless you experiment every time you do a workout or a race, you're not going to learn from it and get better next time. I can't tell how I'm feeling today. Alright, gonna have this now. I have to make sure I have water with it because obviously carbs, you need to facilitate it with water, but there's a bin right here, so it's just convenient to have it now. That's good. We're wearing the Leaning Feidan Elite 6 today. I know Jogon Crago has said a lot of good things about this shoe, and I have worn it once for a workout already, and it's probably been my best threshold workout this year so far. So yeah, it's kind of like an Adios Pro 4 vibe. Even better, white and red colorway. My absolute favorite, as you can kind of tell from my entire outfit today. Super good shoe. I can't wait to do a workout in this again. I've been waiting to wear this for a while.
Okay.
It's at the start of any workout, and especially for a threshold workout like this where it's a long rep like 25 minutes, I definitely always want to start as if I'm jogging. So in my head, I'm pretending like it's part of the warm-up still. I'm not suddenly increasing my gears or anything like that. I'm literally keeping the same sort of smoothness, but only going a little bit quicker is the sort of vibe I go for. Now I know a lot of you already know that I run by feel and don't look at my watch too much, but in this workout I decided to look at my watch a little bit more than usual because it was a Coros fitness test and it wanted me to hit specific splits, so just to really strictly adhere to that, I was looking at the watch a little bit more. As a lot of you may be aware already from Strava and just hearing me talk about how I do so much zone 1 and aerobic training, you've probably noticed that my pace range for a threshold is actually way higher than the typical person, but I don't have that top end speed. So I feel like the pace range given to me by Coros fitness test is actually quite slow, and 330 is already the quicker end of the range, but 330 was feeling like a jog and it was so slow. I actually felt like going a bit quicker, and as some of you know, I did a 16k race recently where I ran 325 per k, and that felt pretty chill as well, so I'm running slower than that for less time, like literally half the time. So I would actually argue and say this is a little bit too chill for the first 25 minutes, so I might actually have to select the 10k race predictor that's a bit higher so that I can get a bit more of an accurate threshold zone.
Feeling alright?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Really good.
This is like the perfect day.
Yeah.
Such good weather.
The blue skies in Perth are actually a regular occurrence, but the dew point and the temperature was actually perfect today as well, and there wasn't much wind, which is actually really rare for Perth, so I actually really enjoyed running in these conditions. If you're one of my viewers from the eastern states and you've never come to Western Australia before, you should definitely consider because there are some nice running routes. It's actually super flat as well, so if you're a road runner, you would actually love running in Perth. Let me know in the comments below if you've been to Perth before and where you're from in Australia, or where in the world you are from, because I'd be pretty curious to know where everyone is watching from. I honestly really love running at this sweet spot steady state intensity. It just feels so good and fun. Like you're not running too slow so it's not too boring, but it's also not quick so you're not dying, and it just feels like a great time. I'm already actually pretty consistent with pacing without looking at the watch, but when I look at the watch it becomes even more consistent, and you can actually see from some of my splits here.
When did you start the 3 minutes?
7 minutes.
I thought so, yeah. That's what I've got it as on my watch. Go ahead.
Feeling pretty good so far. I've been sitting roughly at 330s. So, pretty consistent. Yeah.
Good work. Is making this look really easy. I don't think I could hold 330 pace for even half a k. Definitely less people as the day goes on.
Yeah.
Quick little note for everyone guys, I know I'm supported by a lot of brands right now like Vix, Tarkine, Coros, Nightcore, Carapace, hope I'm not forgetting anyone else, but yeah, there's a lot of links in the description with codes that you can get discounts and stuff. Some of them I get a commission, some of them I don't. I'm not purely doing it for the commission. Obviously I don't actually get that much commission from this, like I don't have a huge audience, but anyone that supports the channel and gets stuff through that code, it does support the channel a little bit, so I appreciate all the support there. But yeah, just letting you know that there's links in the description. There's also a link in my bio on Instagram, and if you have any questions for any of the products in the description, let me know and I can tell you about it on Instagram or wherever you want to contact me through.
About a minute.
Okay, cool. massage base.
So we're definitely hitting an intensity that I don't usually hit in training because I do so much training easy. But yeah, I'm trying my absolute best to maintain cadence and also hold form. And that was my biggest goal going into this. I knew that this was going to be a hard rep, but I wanted to make sure that my form doesn't break down no matter how tired I got. And I think I did pretty well at that, and you'll see the rest of this rep as well.
That was tough in the end.
Good work.
Everything felt good.
Yeah.
Except the last 3 minutes, but
No, you were
that's the
looking
whole
good.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
Oh. I'll turn back at 2.5 minutes.
Yep.
Because we kind of finished exactly where we...
I know, perfect, wasn't it? Yeah. I know, absolute perfect lineup.
Yeah. Right, 8 seconds left. Right, so immediately after the 5-minute cooldown, it takes you to the results of the test. Threshold pace 328, threshold heart rate 176, max heart rate 194. Wow, I don't know if I still believe in 194, and it was already 194, so that's kind of interesting, but I'll look into the data properly because I haven't looked at my heart rate during the run or anything like that, so yeah, I'm curious to see what it's like. And I'll let you know later what I think of the results. Righty, so it's been a couple of days. I'm actually in Sydney right now. To recap the workout, I think it went pretty well. The only thing is, I really think that the 330 per K was way too easy for me. I could have done that for a lot longer. Probably even more than an hour, to be honest with you. I think it didn't get an accurate threshold. Maybe I should have selected a 10K time that was faster than what I selected. And also, I have a naturally low heart rate profile, so obviously I can't get my heart rate that high no matter how much I try. And yeah, I think it took into account my previous max heart rate or something like that. I'm not sure, but The good thing about Coros is actually you can actually contact support and you can select the device that's relevant to you, and then you can also talk about your fitness data and how it doesn't look right, and give them a bit more context on why you don't think it looks right, and they can actually look into it for you. So I'm currently doing that. So I don't really have an answer for now, but it'll be interesting to see what they come back with, and I'll update you in future videos.
Alright, so it's been a couple of days, and as mentioned, I'm actually sleeping right now, sleeping back, and I actually did a 5K this morning, which went pretty well. It's the first time I broke 16 in a few years, and I ran 15:45. And I've just realized that I've never been doing this, but Coros will always ask you what your perceived exertion was after a run. And you can answer that honestly, and the more honestly you answer it, the more accurate your race predictor is going to be, and it also takes that into account. I think as a guy that has done a lot of zone 1 and not much workouts, I think it's harder for Coros to try and work out what fitness level you're at without having a bunch of data points and reference points, which I talk about in a lot of videos. So Coros has that sort of algorithm that looks across multiple data sources. So because I did that 5K parkrun this morning where I ran 15:45 and I wrote down the perceived exertion, I think it's given Coros a bit more context on where I'm at and what pace feels like what for me, sort of thing. So it has a bit more data now, and I feel like my race predictors are now a bit more realistic, which is actually good to see. And also, I actually surprised myself today by getting my heart rate up quite high. I think I got it up to like 186, and I thought my max heart rate would be like 183 or something. But yeah, it got higher than I thought it would be. So either way, I think you just want to input a lot of data to Coros so that they have more to work off of. So yeah, it's good to do your interval sessions, your threshold, and give Coros more data.
Yeah, Meg, you just saw the entire fitness test. What did you think of it?
I'm very impressed because I wouldn't be able to run that fast, but also your form's so good. You look like you're chilling the whole time. You, like I say, the last probably minute or two you said you're really struggling, look like you're putting in more effort, but yeah, you don't lose any of your form and you just look smooth, to be honest. So yeah, all good.
Also, you watch a lot of YouTube.
Oh yeah.
What channels do you like?
What channels do I watch? I watch Ran to Japan, I watch Ben is Running, I watch, do you know Gabriel Smith?
Yeah, I do.
Yes,
Yeah.
He's great. He's so calm. Like, I like it.
He was in Sydney as well recently.
Yes, he was. Yeah, he doesn't like put too much effort into the YouTube, making it all look fancy. It's just like, this is my day, guys. You know. So yeah, they're probably my fave YouTubers. Oh, and Philly.
Yeah.
Philly Bowden.
Yeah,
So good.
Stuff,
Yeah. Have some merch. She's great. Yeah. Up the girls. Yeah.